in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
3rd and long for Winston. Completes it to Spencer Ware. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
They'll run now with Ware. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Ready. Black 22. Where's that?
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Ready. Blue ready.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
White 25.
On third down, Winston. Complete, he finds Blake. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A big 30-yard play on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Ready. Blue ready. Let's go.
They run it here. Ware. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ready. Blue ready.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Let's go now.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch 84. Ready. Blue ready.
Jameis to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31.
Detroit! Detroit! Green on now, 56! Green 56!
Mayfield looks to throw. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And the numbers from a week ago for Jarvis Landry. 5 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
From the red zone now, Mayfield being chased out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Mayfield now on second down. Dumping it off for Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, a one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And Gonzalez puts this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
On the run, it's Ware. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, but they face a second and long to start things out. From the gun, Winston. And break, the tight end's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready? Blue waiting.
Winston. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side, but the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield, otherwise that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gordon. A good pickup there, a 22. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And for Mayfield, this could be a free play. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah,
Still first down.
Easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Mayfield. And this one's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's brought down. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Kirksey not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Airing this one out for Evans. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back complete. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's Winston. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Ready, go. Black 25.
To throw is Winston. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Ready. White 25. Okay.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He fights him off. And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield underneath for Johnson. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
To throw, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
All right, here we go. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. So we've hit the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on a return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, it's Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Mayfield now. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Vinny Curry able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them?
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Christian Kirksey in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not much room there, so he'll get it up only to about the 21. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Bucs on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Hey, you got 3 ready. Blue ready.
Working out of the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 52 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ready to go. Black 22. What's up?
They run again with Ware. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ready. Black 25.
To throw, Winston. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Detroit!
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. With it is Jackson. A beautiful spin and room to run. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Ready? Black 25 behind. Here we go.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Buccaneer 1st down as Winston hooks up with Humphries.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ready? Blue way. Where's that up?
And they'll run it here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Ready.
Jameis to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The ball comes out. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now Mayfield throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing, Mayfield. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Mayfield on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second down, Mayfield. And he's wrapped up. Taken down, back at the 25. Noah Spence able to get him for a loss of about 3. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that?
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Browns getting set to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. First down, Mayfield. Able to shake it off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mayfield looks to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Third and short yardage. Mayfield. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off near the 44. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll go on the ground. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready? Blue waiting. Set.
And they'll try the Brown game here with the running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah spins. In there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Third and long for Mayfield.
How to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Here's Mayfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one